Hello my crafty friends, Corrine here from Corrine Crafts. I hope you are well. Well, have you been able to get out of that sun and get into your craft space? I hope you have. I hope you've had some fun doing a bit of crafting. I've had a lot of fun. Now, I have set myself a task of trying to do a couple of nice quick projects. We always need quick projects. The sun is cracking those slabs at the moment. The last thing we want to be doing is spending too long in our craft room, unless you want to get some shelter from the sun, of course. So I thought I would do this one as my first project. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? It's sort of craft and cream, and just using some of my Sizzix leaves. I love these. A little bit, can you see, look, embossed there, really pretty, really simple. A pattern paper at the back, and that is the card. Really simple. I'm going to show you now how I put it together. Having had a few days away back at the end of May, I'm really struggling to catch up and get ahead with recording some videos, so I thought I would do a handful of quite quick and easy projects, which I know a lot of people like because they don't always have a lot of time on their hands. So this one is another one of what I would class as my sort of quick makes. So I'm going to start off, let me see if I can find it. There we go. I've got my card base. It is a card base for a pre-made card base, so it's for a 6x6 inch envelope. So I put 6x6, but it's actually about 1/8 of an inch shorter than 6x6, but that's fine. And onto there I'm going to put a topper, and my topper is 4 3/4 by 4 3/4, a nice square one. Okay, I know my US friends do struggle with square cards because apparently they're a lot more expensive to post, but again, this will work rectangular. This would work lovely as a 5x7 or even a 4x6, just adjust the size. And then I've cut a circle of craft. So there's quite a lot of craft in here, but I just quite think it works really simply. So the first thing I want to do is put together my card base. So as I said, 4 3/4 by 4 3/4 with a card base of 6 inches. I'll make sure I put it on the screen along here at some point. Okay, so I've done a few little bits here. So I've got some paper from the Secret Garden collection. It's really pretty paper. It's got some gorgeous designs on one side and some just green leaf, well, the sort of starry leaf on the other side, which is what I want because again it's another foliage card. So I have popped that onto my card base along with some of my off-white. It's not a proper cream, it's more of an off-white cream card. It's got just you can just see it's got a very slight linen effect to it. I do like it. It's a lot softer than a white, but it's not as yellow as a cream. So we've done those, and then this one is going to pop on to there. So you see why I've cut out a circle. I'll show you that in oh, see if I can find it. I've actually got, there you go, that's come from there. Put some foam tape on the back, but you'll see that in a minute. So let's put this one on to here, and then we've got our card made up. Now you might not like lots of mats and layers. I'm definitely somebody that does mats and layers. I always have done. If ever you've seen my crafting style, you know I always do mats and layers. It's just the style I like to go with. If you don't, you could actually do craft on craft, would look nice, or just craft with maybe the cream layer in between. It's entirely up to you. Now this is a pretty nifty layer. There's not a lot of room in between, so I just thought I'd put a little bit of glue on there to give me wiggle room, and there you go. So you can see we've got that. I often do a little bit wider border when I do the pattern because we've done a pattern, so why not? So that's going to be my top layer. I did about having a textured layer, but I think we're going to stick like that. So I'm going to put that to one side just to dry. It doesn't need any weight on it, and we're going to have a look at the circle. So I thought I'd have a look at what embossing folders I could find, and I really like this wooden panels. Now if you haven't got this, I think this design will work really well with a foliage embossing folder or just anything that you've got. So I've got my embossing folder. It's a 2D embossing folder, so I'm going to do it through my Gemini, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to put my circle. Now remember, this is something I always used to try and press home when I was demonstrating on TV is you always need to die cut before you emboss. If I just embossed a piece of card and then cut the circle, all I'm going to do is flatten the embossed detail, which we don't want to do. So I thought I would find that knot detail so you can see where it is, and we're going to pop that through our die cutting machine. It's 2D, so all I need is the embossing folder and the embossing ship. So let's pop that through there, and then it's going to come back, just because it's the easiest way to do it. Let's move that out of the way. And again, I do lots of different styles, lots of different types. This isn't going to have any other colours on it. But look at that. Isn't that absolutely gorgeous? I just love that little bit of detail. You've got the deboss or the emboss. And I'm just going to pop that onto a cream matte layer like I've done there. And that is going to go onto my card. Now, if you know me, I always do tent fold cards. So I'm just going to pop now. I put my foam tape so far has gone vertically. So I'm going to put my foam tape horizontally this time, just because it gives me a better support. So let's take this off here. Take the backing off. Now I don't really need to put glue on the back of here because I'm not trying to line it up with just millimeters to spare. So I can then just put that in the middle. I'm going to be brave and just go for it in the middle. I did wonder whether I should have done it off, but I'm not. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to create some leaves. So I'm going with my Sizzix leaves. I love this leaf set. It's really lovely. You get all the leaves and you get the bits to go in the middle, which work really well. So those are the circles that I've used, and these are the leaves and the sort of stamens or the veining detail. Really love those. And I've already cut quite a few out. I don't know how many I'm going to use. So I've cut some out of the Secret Garden paper. You can see I've stuck some down, some out of the craft. So those are the 3 I've done. But just to show you how I did that, I picked the one I wanted to use. Let's use this one and then let's find a centre. So it can be the same or it can be different. And then all I need to do is find my tacky glue, put a little bit on the back. Oh, take that off there. Little bit of glue onto the back like that. And then, because there's more than I need, I could have used my precision glue press, couldn't I? I just tap it onto my hand to remove the excess, and then we pop it onto here, just like that. Then I'm going to grab my cloth and I'm going to put that on there, and that's all I would do. Now these ones, they're a little bit harder to put something on because they're quite thin, so I think what I'll do is I'll get this bit, just pick up the glue that's already there, and then I can just pop that just like that. There we go. So you can see now I do want some of these foliage bits as decoration, so I'm going to just move those ones out of the way. I'm going to bring the card in. We're nearly done. We are so nearly done. Now, I've stamped myself Celebrate. So this is out of this stamp set, if I can find it. It's out of this Creative Craft products. So you've got all of these, which I love there. So I've done the Celebrate, and I really like the size. I started off by doing the Best Wishes from here, but I'll show you in a minute. I think it's too big. I won't get rid of it yet, but I think it's too big. So if I bring my card back in, you see we're nearly done. And I'm going to have a go with some 3D glue gel. This is my Sticks 2 one, and it's nearly all gone. Well, it has. This is all I've got left. So I'm going to use that. So let's just lay a few down. So I'm going to put one on like this. You're not going to see a great deal of this. Then I thought I'd put a cream one. And then I could pop, this is where I sort of, let's put those like that. And then this, now I want this to come down here. So I need these to come down a lot further. So what I could do is I could go like, that would work, wouldn't it? And I could even, yes, like that a lot. So let's just put these down. So I'm going to pop a little bit of glue there, on my 3D glue. a little bit of good. And the great thing about 3D glue is you can lift things up and move them around quite easily. Let's put a little bit on here. There we go. Now what I want to then do is to poke a few of these in, because I think that would look really nice. A mix of, I didn't actually cut any of these out in white, in the cream, did I? But I think it's still going to work. Let's put that on there now. Is that catching? Yep. And, oh, I like this one. This one's a really nice one. I like this. Look, it's got lots of, I've done that out of the Secret Garden bit. And the great thing is, as I said, you can just keep lifting bits up that you've already put down and it'll go back down again. Now that's a little bit high, isn't it? So I need to just lift that. That's a bit better. I'm completely moving everything around. Just keep tweaking it until you get it, everything how you want. So just, now you might find it easier to put the twiggy bits in first and then put your leaves on next. It really doesn't matter. There we go. Is that enough? I think it might be. And then I'm going to get my sentiment. I'm going to put, so I need a little bit on here, and then I need a big bit of glue on here because it's got to go the height. So can you see, oh, there, the difference in height. And didn't mean to drop that, did I? And then I'm going to pop that onto here. And the great thing about 3D glue is it does level itself. And look at that. That is lovely. Now, what do I need? Do I need anything else? Do I need anything else? Okay, so I've got two options. I do think, for me, I need a little bit of something. Let's put the lid on my glue. I need a little bit of something because it's just a little bit too plain. So I could either come with these sparkly ones, or, as you've seen me do before, I've got my brush pen. Put that on there, I don't want to lose it, I've not got many. And all I've done is I've coloured, can you see? Let me put it onto here. I've coloured a cream gem. Now, actually, would cream gems look good? Because I've got the cream card. Let's have a look. I'm going to put a couple of bits on so I can see. Actually, having just coloured those brown, I think the cream ones work. I'm just going to put a brown one on. But then the brown ones work too. Which do I prefer? See, that is the same colour as my stamping. So I quite like it for that. But I do like the cream. Now I'm going to go cream. Take that off, make sure it doesn't mark. And they'll just go on there for another time. Oops. I never throw them away. 3, 2. Oh, that one pinged. 3. Let's see if I can get 4. I always like to make sure that they're not in line with each other. I'm just going to put a 5th one. If I put that one there, that means I've got to move that one to there. That doesn't look right, does it? You wouldn't think it takes so much thinking about where to put gems, would you? Oops, I've just taken the back off that one. There, that'll do. That will do there. Right, okay. And that, believe it or not, is all I'm going to do. How simple is that? And isn't that effective? I am loving that so much. Really, really works for me. Sorry, just tweaking my gems. Yes, that's better. They look a bit more even. There we are. How about that? So all I've used is one embossing folder and one set of foliage dies, wherever I've just moved them. There they are. My Sizzix foliage. So what are these? These, oh, they've only got a number. They're just absolutely gorgeous, aren't they? Do they have artsy leaves? There you go, artsy leaves. That's what they're called. I really love that set. It's a really, really versatile set. And how about that for a beautiful card. I'm really pleased with that. Like I say, I wanted to do a couple of quick wins for you. So as always, I'll link to another card on the left. I will also link to my signature subscribe button on the right, and as always there'll be lots of links in the description down below, including a link to my Buy Me a Coffee page if anybody is able to support my channel, and thank you very much to everybody that does. So until next time, my crafty friends, I hope you enjoyed that. Nice and quick and easy, but I hope it's given you a little bit of inspiration. Get in your craft stash and use what you already have. Please do. And I'll be back very soon with another project. So until then, my crafty friends, you take care. Bye for now.